Picture the moment. The Nisi'im, the princes or tribal leaders, bring a gift for Moshe to the Mishkan. But the Korban was not commanded. It included utensils and some animals and a set of 6 covered wagons, eglot tzav. Moshe Rabbeinu was a little nervous. He turns to the Nisi'im and he says, you know, when my nephews, Nadav and Avihu, brought an uncommanded sacrifice, it ended in tragedy. Moshe's paralyzed. He turns inward. God comes to Moshe and says 2 short words. Kach me'itam. Take the wagons. What Kadosh Baruch Hu was saying to Moshe was more than just receive the gift, but take their insight into the human condition and into the nature of Torah. You see, the Nisi'im understood that the job of physically carrying the boards, the krashim, the tapestries, the yeriot of the Mishkan was going to be too much. The Levi'im would need help to bear that physical burden. They needed wagons. And so Hashem says to Moshe, don't forget, I chose you because when your brothers were suffering, Moshe, you took action. You fought back against the mighty Egyptian empire. Moshe was afraid. Maybe he had lost his ability to be a prophet. He couldn't see. Maybe the Shekhinah had left him and now is on this group of Nisi'im. And so God says to Moshe, don't worry. I was with you then, and I'll be with you always. Just Moshe, kach me'itam, take the wagons, listen, and learn from the Nisi'im. With those 2 simple words, God reminded Moshe that in the face of human suffering, the Torah and Hashem always find a way. As Rav Chaim Volozhiner taught his son, Reb Itzela, leaders have to work on being mitzta'er b'tza'ara da'achrina, to feel the pain of another. As Rav Simcha Zissel of Kelm taught, the purpose of Jewish life is to be nosei ba'ol im chaveiro, to physically bear the burden with another. Rav Shimon Shkop taught that our tafkid on this planet is to be lehitiv im hanivraim, to do good for all of God's creations. What our community needs today are the rabbis who heed the insight of those Nisi'im and take courage from God's message to Moshe, kach me'itam. Religious leaders who can hear the cries of the agunot and the mamzirim. Poskot, to listen to the question behind the question. Rabbis who pay attention not only to those folks dancing in the inner circle, but also those who are dancing outside, and perhaps even more importantly, those who feel as though they weren't even invited to the party. Rabbis who make space for Jews who learn differently and Jews who love differently. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the rabbis that we need today, the 2024 graduates of Yeshivat Maharat. Leah Fine, you are a role model for all of us of what it means to listen to the needs of others in your family, in the Riverdale community, for Klal Yisrael, and particularly this year for Medinat Yisrael. Your Torah is grounded in research and reaches to the heart. You always pushed your teachers to understand the biographies of the rabbis we were studying. Your wise, aging cohort and your love of history will carry you next year in Israel with Stephen. Leah Fine, kach me'itam. Ne'ima Hirsch-Gelman, this day has been a long time in coming, as you were destined to be here someday. You are constantly aware of the needs of those around you, fighting for healthcare choices for women, and advocating for issues that are so important personally to me and to you. You appreciate the nuances and the messiness of modern American Jewish life in more ways than most, because you live in multiple engaged Jewish communities at the same time. Thank you for your snark, your commitment, and your courage. Ne'ima Hirsch-Gelman, Kach Me'itam. Miriam Laurie, your base is your family, and your Torah spreads in concentric circles of love to your community, Nashira. You come by your commitment to serve the Jewish community naturally, as it was part of your home life. For 5 years, we saw Noam and Hugo and Harris grow up in Shiur. And now it's your turn to be giving the Shiurim. When you build a community from the ground up, your DNA is in the bones, and that is a great bracha for any community. Miriam Laurie, Kach Me'itam. Dr. Tamaron Marvin in Shir, if we weren't sure who someone was, we could either quickly find your blog on the topic, or you would just kind of give us the basics on the spot. And this was mentioned this morning, these great Rishonim seem to be your friends. And you, Tamar, are so much more than your amazing scholarship. You are driven to make Jewish education accessible and impactful. You signed on for 4 years while it was still dark outside, and you sat and you learned. As you prepared to board the plane for Aliyah this summer, we all wish you the best. Alo na'aleh. Tamar Marvin, Kach Me'itam. Dr. Adina Roth, the wedding of the heart, the soul, and the mind in one person. Adina, your neshama fills the room, and now finally this room in person. From Johannesburg to Sydney and the Emmanuel School, you are in many ways already bringing your unique Torah to Australia. It is inspiring to see so many members of your extended family here today. You listen carefully to the text of our Mesorah, putting them in conversation with the voices of the people around you. Adina Roth, Kach Me'itam. Talia Weisberg, you bring your lived Jewish experience into every shiur, never failing to make your teachers smile with a story about high school. You also bring a strong sense of what is right and what is wrong, driven by your personal relationship to Hashem and to Halakha, to all that you do, whether on campus, checking for bugs, or giving a shiur. Having Cookie and Mordechai on screen was always a treat. Your keen intellect and big heart will serve you well. Talia Weisberg, Kach Me'itam. Rivka Viechter, learning Hilchot Avelut with you in a shelter at your parents' or at David's home was humbling. Topics that I had so wished would remain theoretical came painfully alive. At kvar osa et ha'avoda b'shchuna u'vakihila shalach. Mazal tov lamishpacha ba'aretz, im atem adayim erim, שתדעו שיש לכם בת ואחות מלאה יראת שמיים, אהבת תורה ואהבת הבריות. בתפילה לבשורות טובות, ועכשיו אתם יכולים ללכת לישון. You are ready to bring a new kind of Torah to Yerushalayim and to the Jewish people. Rivka Viechner, Kach Me'itam. Maytal Blumenthal Gordon, You are so committed to understanding everything in Shir, you won't let class end until it all makes sense. And then you follow up with your teachers to make sure that you got it right. This has been a painful year. Having your husband out of the house, serving as a doctor, while you were at home with kids and working and learning was not an easy juggle. I am not sure that anyone else could have pulled it off, but you did. Your commitment to building the Maharat community, to learning and teaching Torah, inspires your friends, your colleagues, and your Rebbeim. Meital Blumenthal-Gordon, Kach Me'itam. Dr. Yedida Koren, the Torah that you already bring to the Jewish community and to the Academy is so powerful. You are no doubt familiar with Daniel the Tailor's reminder that the tears of the oppressed refer to the mamzerim, who have done nothing wrong. Your scholarship, your Torah, brings those tears front and center. You, Yedida, are a modern tailor, mending the broken hearts of people who have been set aside by our Mesorah. Your mastery of the material, and perhaps more importantly, your ability to teach that material at every level is unparalleled. Yedida Koren, Kach Me'itan. Dina Weiss, you have grounded the Hadar Beit Midrash for many years. Your commitment to serious Torah, Tefillah, and Chesed is inspiring. You have a unique ability to make meaning from complex, detailed halachic sugyot. Your Torah comes with both psychological insight as well as a strong dose of sharp humor. You understand that the wisdom of the rabbis not only can, but must speak to us in a modern idiom. Dina Weiss, Kach Me'itan. Dr. Meira Wachenfeld. Who would have thought that the smellscape of the Talmud Bavli could be so captivating? Your love of all things Gemara is contagious. Your ability to sniff out the depths of the sugya is uncanny. In CBI in Berkeley, you have already brought your compassion, your warmth, and your patience to so many people. Your presence always served to ground the shiur. You know what it means to sit, to listen, and care for those in need. Meira Wachenfeld, Kach Me'itan. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the Maharat Smicha class of 2024.